very much. We welcome you inside a sold-out Stegeman Coliseum. The students have been waiting for hours in damp and rainy conditions to cheer on their dogs in a very important game. Right now, the dogs last four in. They take on top 25 Mizzou here in Athens. Welcome, everybody. He is the professor. Mark, they get there.
And Mike, we've got a little bit of an odd situation to start the game. There was an administrative error with marking the starters, and it wasn't caught in time. Missouri has elected to put Mark Mitchell into the starting lineup, even though he wasn't listed as such. That will cost the Tigers an administrative technical. So we're going to start this game with a technical, one shot, and then we'll throw it up at midcourt.
I don't think I've ever seen this in a college game. I've seen it in a high school game when somebody has the books wrong. So what a way to start this off. I'm sure the crowd is sitting here wondering, how did we just start off the game with a free throw? Demery hits it, and it's 1-0 without a single second off the clock. A bizarre way to start it. Let's continue the madness. Let's get crazy here, Mark.
Just when you think you've seen it all.
You and I were scratching our head. Initially, it said Peyton Marshall would be the starter, the 7-foot freshman, but Mark Mitchell, who is back. Anthony Robinson having a much improved sophomore year for Missouri. And it's Robinson bringing it in the front court, and a whistle on Dakota LeFew, who's been banged up here. Inbound it to Mizzou. Tigers coming in 21st in America, coming off a blowout performance on Wednesday night against the Oklahoma Sooners.
And Missouri's going to run a lot of 5 out. All 5 guys will be at the arc, and they look to isolate Mitchell.
Mitchell goes to work. Working on Godfrey, and the first turnover, a shot. Student section packing it once again. It's become a very vocal crowd here at Stegeman Coliseum. They lost a heartbreaker the last home game, 1 point to Mississippi State. That came down to a last-second turnover on Demery. 3-ball from the wing is off the mark, and here comes Mizzou.
That's the kind of shot that Georgia just has had a hard time knocking down this season from a consistent standpoint.
Baseline drive and kick, sets up an open 3. Bates can shoot it well, and he sinks the first triple.
Going down with full court zone pressure.
Missouri mixes up their defenses as much as anybody in the league. Mitchell with a rejection. Return to sender on the first offering. The second one, though, R.J. Godfrey muscles his way in and banks it home. We're tied. Inside, in heavy traffic, and somehow splitting the double team, Trent Pierce.
I think we'll have a little bit of a tug of war on tempo today. Missouri likes to play a little bit faster.
How about Blue Kane with the strong take to the rack? To come off the bench usually early around the 16-minute mark. Robinson probes the baseline, hangs and hits. Just a tough, strong move by the sophomore.
Interesting that early on, both teams' offenses, they're pretty good.
Already 12 points on the board. We played a little over 3 minutes. This is Newell, the freshman phenom, projected to be a lottery pick. To Godfrey, big to big. Godfrey carves out some space to the right hand. Precise. This guy's precise when he shoots it. Grill that time missed it. Josh Gray hustled for the rebound, but then threw it away.
See, I like Georgia pushing it. You may get a better look in transition.
Demery, be an awful big luxury if they could get Silas Demery going, the sophomore, averaging just under 12 points a game.
Yeah, he's been really good in their last 2, averaging 21. As a matter of fact, against A&M, now they didn't have LeFew in the game, but he played all 40 minutes.
Bates responds with a triple on the other end.
UNI
hounded by Bates. Kane finds Newell inside, little left-handed hook shot. Nice touch by Asa Newell.
One of the things that impresses me about Newell, he catches all kinds of passes. Strikes, balls, he catches them all.
Gray, the 7-footer, finds Grill off a curl, and that's money in the bank. Caleb Grill, one of the things we talked about with Mike White, he's not just reminds me a little bit of a guy I played with, Keith Carter.
Right.
The Ole Miss star, who was a great shooter and awfully athletic as well. He's now, of course, the AD in Oxford. There's a muscle play by Surreal. There's another guy they need to play big.
That was good execution offensively by Georgia to beat the double team.
6'11", 260-pound freshman. Look at Caleb Grill cutting of the basket and getting two more.
I think Grill has evolved into a much better, more complete, well-rounded basketball player. He's playing, in my view, the best basketball of his career.
Father Chris Grill still coaching his younger brother Alec over there at Mays High School in Wichita, Kansas. Blue Kane on a runner. After this season, one of his best baskets was a backdoor cut two to upset the Gators on the road. There's a play off the inbounds, and speaking of guys who have been hot of late, Jacob.
A little bit late on the out under. Oh, here's a zone. We talked about Missouri being the team in the league that is more willing to change their defenses than anybody else.
There's a foul on the alley-oop attempt to Surreal. 7. That being said, if they really want to feel better about things, win this game. Not even in the evening hours yet. Joe working overtime. The steam just loves that paint. Drives, dishes, sets up a three. No, but there for the rebound is Cruz. No box out.
Oh!
And then a foul. It would have been a highlight block, but it looked like Surreal got some body along with the pumpkin. Pitcher from UT Martin at the free throw line. Knocks down the first to make it a 2-point lead. Year-long mark. That's a recipe for victory.
Yeah, that they seem. Look at all five black jerseys. When the ball is on one side of the floor or the other, they really load in.
Demery with a highlight, deep two on a step back. Tough time inbounding it. Into Newell. To Demery. Back up top with the shot clock down to 7. Nice pass. Threading the needle was Montgomery, and there's Newell on the slam. Robinson up top to Allen. Mitchell's been quiet. They'll live with that, but they won't live with another offensive rebound. This time it's Gray just playing some bully ball down low.
And that time I like the no call. Gray was making his offensive move. Wasn't enough there. Again, Missouri back to this 2-3, what we used to call the old Syracuse zone. It's got high wings. Well, those are the kind of plays you just cannot have.
Just a lazy pass. Grill gets the steal, and there's Mitchell on the two-hand flush. How do you want to see George? Plenty of big bodies, and of course their leading body, and Mark Mitchell, number 25 in black. Another bad inbounds pass leads to a turnover to Robinson.
Too much air.
Bates on a three and makes some pay on the other end. And now if you're Georgia, Georgia can dissect it a little bit better here.
See if they can get the ball into 10. Godfrey in the middle. Or see if Newell maybe flashes. There's the soft spot. Good things should happen now.
And they do. Good call, Coach. R.J. Godfrey gets it in the soft spot and then converts. Baseline, Euro step, pops out of there, and ripping down the rebound is Asa Newell.
Georgia got lucky. They had no idea who was supposed to guard Allen in transition.
Newell inside, soft, feathery touch by the big man in Carolina.
Mixing the defenses, in and out of zone, this time back in it.
Georgia has not hit a three as of yet, 0 for 5. Newell's got to fire it up. Newell at the buzzer, hits it! Hopkins with 10. Bates up top, under 5. Bates measures, tosses to Perkins on a late three. Back-to-back buzzer beaters.
Oh my goodness.
And that silences the crowd and puts an end to a 6-0 Georgia run.
Players on both ends stepping up late in shot clock situations.
Been a well-played first half by both sides. 3 ball, Georgia. All of a sudden now the Dogs have a 3, the first one. Tapped around by Gray and finally into the hands of Godfrey. Demery into front court, whips it into the corner to Kane. Kane catch and fire, 3! Back Back-to-back triples for the Dogs, who approaching 3 minutes to go in half number one. A step back, that's a deep two that goes down for Missouri and Trent Pierce.
Pierce, who's been in a mini slump, has just 2 points in the last 3 Tiger games. At some point in time, Demery's got to make some of these. These are pretty good looks.
Offensive rebound leads to a finger roll, and that is Justin Abson, the transfer from Appalachian State. They don't get a whole lot of points out of Abson. He's in there mainly for defense. Speaking of which, trying to affect the play here, Robinson. No, Gray, yes, and an and one. Josh Gray with that big 7-foot.
Makes me a little nervous.
I know, right? Now, you and I saw this before. So the second attempt. And that time, missed it.
Yeah, he found his rhythm.
The first one is just a warm-up, a breakfast ball, if you will. Tie game, 8 ties, 8 lead changes in this first half. Look at Grill, another steal, and draws another foul. Grill tickles the twine on a pair, and Missouri has a 2-point lead with 2:05 to go.
Turnovers, but 9 Tiger points off turnovers.
See if Georgia can settle down, get a good shot here. When in doubt, go to the freshman Newell. Newell, pass into the corner. Demery on a 3, missed it, but a foul against Missouri. All freshman team. That one barely drew iron.
Ways than just scoring.
I'm going to give you something else to like about Demery. Shied away from the post-game press conference. He told the SID, no. Mizzou, a 3-ball from the corner, rims off. Another chance for Mizzou. 4th attempt, no. Gray gets it back. They'll have a 5th attempt at it. Cruz.
Yeah, that's
and
the right
block
call.
Foul on Demery.
It's a late whistle, but it's the right call. Just blow the game.
Cruz, 73% on the right there at the top. And calmly splashes of
February or March, because it feels like March to me.
Everything about it. That's what we love about this time of year. You start getting that March feel. Newell, tomahawk slam plus the damage. He'll go to the line for a 3-point opportunity. He used to work for the University of Georgia. He basically used to go to daycare in the shadows of Stegman College. Basketball clearly the first love for Asa Newell.
Let's see if Mizzou goes 2 for 1.
Rejected by Newell. They'll say goaltend. The trail official says it was on the way down.
Well, they're going to review it.
Right.
But this certainly looked like it was on the way up. And the problem I have with this, and the officials are within their right, that's going to be overturned.
That's going to be overturned, yeah.
But we're officiating the replay and not the play on the floor.
And again, if it's close, very often they will call it, because if you don't, you can't review it. So it puts the onus on the official to, if there's a gray area, to call for the goaltend.
Isolation again with Demery. See if he can beat Grill off the bounce.
Baseline drive and kick to Kane. Kane passed it up. Kane instead driving, throws it up and in. The running hook shot. Final 10 seconds of the half with Georgia up by a point. Grill off a curl, missed it. Rebound off the mark, and that's how the first half comes to a close. It was so loud in here you couldn't tell if a whistle was blown.
Against any team you want to play.
Any group of high scorers, right? That type of coaching prowess that separates you from the pack. Yes. Georgia up by 3. That goaltend was reversed, by the way, so the score you see is correct. It's a 3-point game. Georgia on top as Missouri gets another paint touch, which sets up another 3 and another make for Trent Pierce.
Again, Pierce 31.
Well, we're right back to another tie, and we've had several ties and lead changes already in this game. Kane lobs it up to Godfrey. Godfrey takes it right in on Mitchell. Towers colliding, and the better half that time was the former Clemson Tiger.
One of the things that Georgia's done a good job of, they're not getting caught on the switch trying to guard Mark Mitchell. Now here's the isolation.
Mitchell on Godfrey, says, I got 2 for you, big guy. Right back returns the favor.
Mitchell gets both feet in the paint. That play's over. You must meet him with more physicality outside the paint.
So strong, so versatile, so good. Mark Mitchell, number 25 in black. Pass down low. Newell continues his perfect night in the office. He's now 6 for 6 with 13 points. Mitchell, pump fake on a 3, finds Perkins, and this time Mitchell will take it. He had all day. He spots it up and drills it in the portal to get Mark Mitchell out of Duke.
How about Newell with a little guard skills?
Booker guarded by Mitchell. Trying to lob it into Newell. Newell mismatch, and that one was just too much for the much smaller Anthony Robinson. Mouse in the house for Newell.
How about the crafty little pass by Godfrey, though? Big to big.
Dogs have made their last 6 shots now, and Missouri not to be outdone. Anthony Robinson with the mid snaps, a 6 consecutive field goal make streak. And Missouri will try and make them pay on the other end. Robinson with the pump fake, dipsy-do, and a beautiful take by Anthony Robinson, the vastly improved sophomore out of Tallahassee, Florida.
I like the ball fake instead of putting the ball on the deck and going back and forth off the bounce.
Demery, great move, but off the back iron. Missouri up 3 and looking for more. And that's a reach-in foul on R.J. Godfrey. Every possession, they get a paint touch. Now the shot doesn't always go.
Missouri player in over 10 seasons.
They had no answer for 20s with Mitchell down low. Godfrey takes it strong. No, Newell had the rebound. Contact, no call. Missouri clears it, and now Missouri might have numbers on the other end. This is Bates. Parting of the Red Sea, and Bates off his pogo stick slams it home. The out-of-bounds play. Perkins lobbing it down low to Gray. Hounded by Surreal. Gray just threw it up. I don't know if he even saw the rim when he tossed it up, but it goes down.
And that's where I think you have to take your foul. If you're Georgia, Gray just 50% on the free ones.
Surreal with the answer on the other end. To Newell.
What a great job by Newell, though, to present himself in the open area. That's basketball IQ.
3 ball from the corner by Demery.
You can thank Asa Newell for that pressure release, which led to the Demery 3.
Basketball IQ off the charts for the freshman. Back to a 3-point game. Grill off a curl. Grill fouled on the 3 and almost a 4-point opportunity. So good at finding skip time today. Fouled on a 3-point shot. Off against number 7, Texas A&M. Caleb Grill, who plans on being a coach someday, in double digits, you can chalk it up as a win. Demery steps into another 3. Newell fights for the rebound, takes it on Gray! Tomahawk plus the foul!
Asa Newell
arrived on campus, and right away people knew it's going to be a special talent. Newell inside. Instead they go outside, an open look, but a 3-ball missed by LeFew. Streaking, leading the way.
You missed a wide open 3.
Look at that pass by Mitchell to Grill. And a timeout called by Georgia. Largest lead for Missouri, an 8-point advantage with conversation. They've still got work to do, as does this Georgia team. They're on the right side of the bubble today, but a home loss and a tough pass by Montgomery leads to an easy deuce. The kind of mistake you simply cannot have against Missouri.
LSU, Texas against Kentucky. I think that's a must-win for Oklahoma. They only have 3 league wins right now. Texas has a little more room for error, but what a win that would be.
Mitchell, alley-oop pass. What a play out of the timeout, and Missouri now up by a dozen. Danger zone for Georgia, Mark.
Out of the timeout. Great call by the Missouri staff.
Another turnover. Again, it's Montgomery, and again it leads to an easy deuce on the other end for Robinson. And the portal has been the difference in taking an 0-19 team to a team that's flirting with their 8th conference win of the year. A 10-0 Missouri run. Georgia's got to find a way to snap it. That will not work.
That's a 50-50 ball. Georgia has to win.
Cruz going to work on the freshman Newell. Cruz determined to shoot it. He does, and hits it. A little fade and fire by Jacob Cruz.
Tremendous offensive confidence does Cruz have in his own game.
Georgia had a 3-point halftime lead. It's now a 19-point advantage for Mizzou. Another open look for Kane. This time he books it.
Much better offense, moving the ball from one side of the floor to the other, playing on the second side, third side. Mizzou just does not allow you to do a lot of that.
First Georgia points in 4.5 minutes time. Here's the guy who's had the hot hand for Missouri, and he continues to have it, Anthony Robinson.
Missouri just has so many guys that can beat you in the one-on-one world.
Pick your poison. Kane, stop and pop. Got it. But you got to get some stops. Can't trade baskets here.
Right. But whether you're talking about Robinson or Mitchell or Perkins, these are guys that can all score one-on-one, which makes them a really difficult scout.
Perkins on Newell. Look at that. I mean, Perkins is giving up a whole lot of that. Is really rare, but Missouri has that combination, and they've displayed it all year long. Alley-oop pass, Newell.
He catches more bad passes.
Everything.
If he catches anything around him.
Be a great catcher.
Yes.
Or wide receiver. See if the Georgia defense can be ratcheted up. Not on that possession. Just an easy path to the basket. 6 and change if Georgia's going to try and wipe away an 18-point deficit.
Double off the pick and roll. That middleman has been open the entire game. Georgia just needs to make more threes. They're one of the, in league, that's probably Texas A&M because of the way they play.
Oh, that's how the second half has gone. Grill fired up an air ball. The hardest play to rebound in basketball is the air ball. It wound up back to Missouri. Now, a foul was quick guard play. It's really tough to win in this league. 3 NCAA tournaments. That has not been done in quite some time.
It's ever been in this conference.
I'm with you. Pierce has it rejected by Absent. Late clock situation for Perkins. 4:20 on the game clock. Bates again right down the runway with no resistance. A straight line drive. Georgia needs buckets, and they need them in bunches. Demery can't get it. And look what I found. Offensive rebound for Epps. Max effort. Down low, Pierce. Rejected by who else? Newell. Shot clock at 2. Grill with a quick catch and fire. He barely even loaded that. That was a one on the road.
Yep.
And continue to take care of business at home.
Yeah, they have their bye next, so they only have 5 games left. 3 of those 5 will be away from Athens.
21 points, 9 rebounds now for Newell. He is offensive rebound. Bates on the second. And that time, a nice box out by Montgomery.
But I love how your top scorers play so unselfishly, the way Missouri does.
No doubt. Missouri gets in the bonus. Third foul on Blue Kane. Oh no, Perkins goes deep.
Watch out!
And slams it on Newell. Wow, elevation by Tony Perkins on the 6'11 Newell, who was creeping.
My goodness. Take another look. Tony Perkins on the fly pattern. Caleb Grill, the quarterback. And it looks like Newell is going to measure this. But Perkins just flushes with the one hand. That's big time.
I was thinking the same thing you were, like, had other ideas.
Scoring.
Oh.
Fun to watch. This Mizzou team is fun to watch.
And they're playing like a well-oiled machine of late. And Georgia the other way. Got Kane streaking instead. The layup is missed. Newell gets it, and Newell stuffs it.
Yeah, he didn't miss that one, did he?
23 points for Asa Newell. 23 and 10, so another double-double. He leads all freshmen in the SEC in that category. The final 18 seconds will tick away, and Missouri is going to improve to 8-4 in the SEC. A 49-point second half. Mark Wise, some final thoughts on what we saw today by the 21st team in the land, the Missouri Tigers.
The word that comes to mind about Missouri is balance. Balance scoring, balance offense, defense. They're going to be a tough out in March.
No doubt about it. Missouri impressive today, 87-74. Your final score. For Mark Wise and our entire SEC Network crew, Mike Morgan saying so long. Let's have the gang in studio chop it up.